Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you all so much for joining us for another session of Let's Get Cooking. It's summertime and we're giving summertime vibes. Hello to everybody that's in the building joining us, and hello to you, Naya. All right, so let's get this party started. Today we're going to make a summer peach and corn salad. Super excited about this because I really, 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 really love summertime food. I'm a summer baby. And so I enjoy summer vibes when it comes to my food. So let's go over the ingredients. This is a relatively quick recipe, and for the way the technique and how you actually create this recipe, there's a few different ways that you can do it. And so I'll go over the ingredients and then we'll talk about the different ways that you actually can prepare this recipe, okay? So for our equipment, of course, you're gonna need a salad bowl, some mixing bowls, a pot to boil your corn, measuring spoons and cups, and a colander to strain your vegetables and all of your clean fruit and everything. All right, so the recipe is calling for four ripe peaches. Now, mind you, the amount of this you can modify it depending on how many people you're going to feed. So, four ripe peaches sliced, not canned peaches. Okay, no, before somebody asks me, no canned peaches. Okay, fresh peaches, 3 ears of fresh corn. Okay, fresh corn, and we're going to boil that and remove the kernels off of the cob. Two Persian cucumbers sliced, two avocados diced, 5 ounces of arugula or whatever greenery you'd like to use, a half a cup of fresh basil, a quarter cup of fresh basil, quarter cup of fresh mint, and looks like half a cup pumpkin seeds. Sorry, that's very far away from me. It's kind of small, so I'm trying to read it. Half a cup of pumpkin seeds, a quarter cup of red onions, thinly sliced, and it looks like we're going for a half a cup of crumbled feta. And the feta is optional. If you don't want the cheese or you don't like feta, you can substitute it for whatever cheese you like. For our lemon honey vinaigrette, we're going with 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, juice of 2 lemons, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, one garlic clove minced, salt and pepper to taste. All right. Do I have any questions before we get started? All right. Naya, you good?
Yep. Okay.
All right. So, a couple of things that I want to mention. So with our corn, we're going to boil it. So since everything else is just prepping, let's go ahead and get our pot of water on and get that water boiling. So whatever size pot you have is fine. Throw your water in there and get your corn cooked. And so the one thing that I would say that I might do different if I made this again is I would either grill my corn or I would take it and put it on a pan and pan fry to kind of give it that charred taste just to add like a little bit of dimension and flavor. So boiling it is cool, grilling it primo, just putting a little char on it and a pan is absolutely exceptional also. So if you opt not to boil and you want to just go ahead and do the pan searing and just kind of give it a little color with your pan, that is completely fine. I highly suggest it. If I would have paid closer attention, I probably would have modified it a little bit more. All right, so I have my water on that I'm gonna get nice and ready so I can boil my corn. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping all of our veg. And I'm going to start with the fruit because really it's like a lot of fruit. And I feel like, and Diane, you can correct me if I'm wrong, peaches, avocado, and cucumbers are actually considered to be fruit. Aren't cucumbers also fruit? Are you looking?
Let's see.
I know avocados and peaches. That's the obvious one, right? It's the cucumber that I think might be a little bit questionable.
Yes, so all three are botanically all fruits, and they're all
Yay! I got it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. So people usually treat cucumbers like a vegetable, but you know that
Mhm.
most things that do contain seeds are considered to be a fruit.
Love that. All right. So once again, get your water on so we can boil our corn. You also have the option of just taking the kernels off and eating it raw. That's also an option. So what I'm going to do is I'm just cutting my peaches in half, taking my knife and running it all around until I find that seed, and I'm cutting all around that seed, and then I'm going to twist and I'm going to open up. Okay. Now, I personally like a nice ripe peach. I'm not a big fan of peaches. I like nectarines a little bit better. And I'm going to tell you the weird reason why I have a tendency to lean away from peaches. It's because I have like the way it feels. It kind of reminds me of velvet, and I don't like the way velvet feels. Super weird. I know it's like one of those weird things. We all have a weird thing, and that one is definitely mine. But taste your peach.
Yeah, I prefer nectarines. I like how firm they are over peaches.
Uh-huh. I don't like mushy fruit. Mushy fruit is not my vibe. But I found some peaches that were kind of crunchy. So the other thing with the peaches is you can grill your peaches also if you want. So that's another thing that you can do for this recipe. For this one, I'm gonna leave it raw. But Naya, would you like to tell us our fun facts about our corn and our peaches, please?
Peaches are nutrient-rich, hydrating stone fruits that support overall wellness, especially during the summer when the body needs light, water-rich foods. It is rich in vitamin C, which supports immune function and helps repair body tissue and build collagen for skin and joints. It's also high in fiber, which aids in digestion, supports a gut healthy microbiome, and helps regulate blood sugar. And someone asks, Miss Pamela, are we taking the skin off?
No, we are not. I'm not. You can if you like, but I'm not taking the skin off. I wash them really well, and I'm gonna cut the peaches and leave the skin on. So when we're talking about, like our health and making sure that we're getting all the nutrients out of our food, I'm a firm believer that a lot of the really good protective and the most benefits are going to come out of the skin of your vegetables and your fruits. So I tend to like leave the skin on a lot of things, on my carrots, on my beets, on my cucumbers.
All right, for corn. Corn contains B vitamins, particularly thiamine, which supports energy production and healthy nervous system function. For its body benefits, it may provide fiber for gut health, carbohydrates for sustained energy, and antioxidants that all support eye health. And its corn has long symbolized abundance and nourishment in many cultures, encouraging gratitude and connection to the harvest season.
All right, so once again, you can cut up as many peaches um, as you need. It calls for four. Four might be a little bit much for me because the kids are gone. Nobody's going to eat all this food besides me. So I'll make enough for the next couple of days. Hopefully, I can get Naya to eat a little bit. But I'll cut up three of peaches. And we're just going to continue to slice. And my water's starting to warm up, but it has not quite reached a boil. And if you notice how easy, when the peaches are a little bit firmer, it's a lot easier to snap them off the seed. They're really good. Yummy. All right. Does anybody have any questions? These are like one of those classes where I'm going to be snacking because the peaches are actually pretty yummy. I think I'm maturing around touching them. I'm going to go ahead and drop my corn into the water and let it come to a boil. Once again, you don't have to. If you want to have your corn raw, like if you just want this to be a completely raw meal, you can do that. If you want um, to grill your corn, you can do that. I highly suggest grilling it. I actually had my cast iron pulled out, and then I actually read through the recipe again. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to boil it. Now this is really weird because I actually find the recipes and create them, and then sometimes I just forget. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my cucumbers, and I'm just cutting the ends off. And Naya, how are we supposed to? I think we're slicing our cucumbers.
Slicing our cucumbers.
All right, so my technique for that is I cut off the ends, and then I'm just gonna cut the cucumber straight down the middle. Flip them over on their bellies, that which would be their flat side. And if you're, trying to be practical and cut time, I'm just gonna pull them together and cut them into half moons. And it's nice to have them in bigger chunks because your peaches are kind of big. All right.
And cucumbers, they support our mind, body, and spirit with its high water content. It supports hydration, which is essential for concentration, memory, and overall cognitive performance. It provides vitamin K and antioxidants while also hydrating our bodies, with it being low in calories and refreshing during warm weather. The crisp, cooling nature can help create a sense of refreshment, calm, and balance.
All right. So cucumbers cut. Once again, this is a pretty quick recipe. The next thing we're going to go for is our onion. All right, so I like to leave this little fuzzy part on the end here. And just cut that end off. And all we need is about a quarter cup, which is probably about a quarter of the onion, depending on the size of the onion. So I'm just gonna cut another quarter of that, and then I'll peel off this outside. And I think I'm gonna slice with the natural lines of the onion to make nice little slices. Onions have some really powerful healing benefits to them, and I will tell you about them now.
It contains quercetin, a powerful antioxidant that may protect brain cells from oxidative stress. It also supports heart health, immune function, and healthy inflammation responses. Red onions add bold flavor and vibrancy, encouraging sensory enjoyment and engagement with.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part. I thought your phone dropped.
It adds bold flavor and vibrancy, encouraging sensory enjoyment and engagement with food.
Oh, yes, it does. I love the way that red onions complement a meal. All right, so let me just show you what I have so far. And it's looking really beautiful and colorful. We have our peaches, our cucumbers, and our red onions. And we have our corn that is boiling, all right? And we really don't have to boil that corn for that long. Does it say specifically how long that we need to cook our corn, Naya? So I say bring it to a boil, let it boil for like 5 to 7 minutes, and I'm gonna take it off. I really don't want my corn to be cooked to where it's soft. I want everything to still be crispy. So I'm gonna rinse it, cool it down after it's done, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add it into my salad. All right, so what do we have next? So we have our onions, our cucumbers, our peaches. I think I'm gonna do my herbs. I always like to do the avocado just about the last thing that I throw in. So with the herbs, we're just going to do a nice, you could of course rinse and do a nice little rough chop so you can have some pretty decent size strips. You want to make sure that we're getting the flavor, that you're tasting your basil. I'm not going to go all the way down to the stem. Okay. So I'm going to add my basil in there, which smells amazing.
Now we have Pamela in the chat, and she says she is pan her.
Your pan frying, your pan cooking your corn. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I kind of wish I would have. I low key was gonna switch it up, but I didn't want to do that to y'all. I'm like, I'm not gonna switch it. And you guys are like, what is this lady doing? So I'm just gonna keep it simple. But yeah, I wish I would have caught that before. All right, so now we're going for our mint. Naya, would you like to tell us our healing benefits, please?
Yes, for our basil, it contains antioxidants and plant compounds that may help reduce inflammation and support cognitive health. Vitamin K and beneficial polynutrients that support immune and cardiovascular health. Basil has traditionally been associated with clarity, protection, and uplifting energy. The aroma of mint may help enhance alertness, focus, and mental clarity. It supports digestion and may even help soothe occasional stomach discomfort. Mint's refreshing scent can promote feelings of calmness, renewal, and mental refreshment.
All right. How many people are gonna switch up the vibe with your corn and pan fry it instead of boiling it? The avocado is so pretty. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And Pamela says she's definitely gonna do it. She's all in. I'm super excited to hear about it. All right, so we're just gonna dice up our avocado. I have a nice ripe avocado.
And avocados are rich in monosaturated fats that support healthy blood flow to the brain and may improve memory and concentration. It provides heart healthy fats, fiber, potassium, folate, and vitamin E to support cardiovascular health and healthy aging. Their creamy texture adds satisfaction and comfort, helping meals feel nourishing and grounding.
Alrighty. So I have my avocado in, and everything is moving. I'm trying to like slow down a bit because everything's moving really fast. All right, so far, and that's a lot of stuff. Like this is a pretty big salad already with the peaches, and so that for the amount that you were given, I would say this is enough to like feed a family. So if you want to modify your recipe a bit and cut it in half, like if it's just you and your husband, or maybe you and your kids, you can modify it, okay? But it's a perfect size if you're bringing it to a party. Okay? All right, what's next, Naya?
All right, so next on our list, you guys have the peaches, the corn, cucumbers, avocados, the next greens and arugula. We have the basil, mint, pumpkin seeds, red onion. All right, so it's really to
our dressing.
Red, yeah.
All right, let's do it. So while my corn is still cooking, I'm going to start with my dressing. So I'm going in with my olive oil, my Dijon mustard, honey. Juice of 2 lemons. Now you might want to try it after the first lemon because with the Dijon mustard, it is going to make it very
Mm.
tangy, right? So you may need to, depending on your taste buds, add, let's see, I'll try this. Add more honey or less lemon juice, okay? So just, kind of taste it before you add both in to see like what you need. You may like the sharp citrus vibe and maybe just add a little bit more honey to it. I love a nice bright citrusy dressing, but I do like to cut it a little bit with a little sweetness for contrast. So I
And
know
some,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm saying some of the benefits of this dressing may include olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats and polyphenols, which are associated with improved cognitive health and reduced risk of age-related cognitive decline. The lemons provides vitamin C, which helps protect brain cells from oxidative damage. It also supports immunity, collagen production, iron absorption, and healthy digestion. The tablespoon of honey offers a natural sweetness and may contain antimicrobial compounds depending on the type of honey that you did provide. It also provides a natural source of energy for the brain and contains small amounts of protective antioxidants. Dijon mustard, it adds flavor with minimal calories and may support digestion of mustard seed compounds. It contains trace minerals, and antioxidants that contribute to overall wellness. And please do not forget that garlic. Garlic contains sulfur compounds that may help support brain health and cognitive function. It supports immune health, cardiovascular health, and even a healthy inflammation response.
All right. And I almost forgot the garlic. You see, after the top on, and then I was like, oh, forgetting the garlic. And how am I doing that? Like my favorite part. And the way I love garlic is just insane. I love it so much. I always want extra. Become a vampire slayer. All right. So we're just gonna, and I like to crush the garlic as much as I can. Not only does it release the allicin, but it helps in the breakdown of the garlic. Like when it's time to mince it up, it's already pretty much broken down. So it's really easy to just go ahead and mince. And once again, like the smaller that you break down your garlic, the more flavor you're going to get out of it. All right. So if you take your time and you break it down as much as you can with your knife, or you can take a garlic press or a microplane. It's going to give you the most garlic flavor. Okay. You're going to get a lot of benefits out of it. How's everybody doing? Do I have any questions? Today's class is going to be really quick. All right. And next week, I just want to remind everybody there will be no live class next week. There'll be a recording. Alrighty. Let me take my cord out. Now, does it say we need to drop it in like ice water or any ice bath or anything like that? Stop the cooking?
Um, no,
Are there any
you
techniques?
kind of cook yours for quite some time. It's mostly just removing the kernels.
Okay. So it's going to be a little bit challenging to remove the kernel. So what I'm going to do, let's see if this actually works. In order to remove the kernels from this corn, it's going to have to cool down a bit. So I'm going to just drop the corn into an ice water bath, which is going to help cool down the corn and it's going to stop the cooking so it doesn't get too soft. And so it's like just helping it just kind of hold it in place, okay? It'll make it easier for us to remove the actual kernels from the corn, and it's going to keep it nice and bright. This is a technique that's used a lot with like different types of vegetables when you're cooking them. All right, so I'm just going to add in my garlic. And you see how quick this is. Like if this was like something that you wanted to whip up for your family, or if you have guests coming over, or if you have to take something, to a family gathering, it's going to be lots of family gatherings coming up. Then this is really quick. Just have to grab a couple items from the store. Let me give this a nice shake. And then I'll give it a taste.
Yes, I'm so excited for this lovely lemon honey vinaigrettes. And for anyone who might have grilled the peaches, I feel like that's gonna add some extra flavor. You can even
Yeah, definitely.
some extra peaches, or not cut up but mash some peaches inside your vinaigrette.
Oh, yeah, you can use your handy immersion blender if you have one of those. Throw a couple of those peach slices inside of your vinaigrette. Make yourself a peach lemon vinaigrette. I like that. Good idea, Naya. All right, so we have our honey lemon vinaigrette. If you want to throw some peaches in there, you can make it a peach honey lemon vinaigrette because I know you guys have gotten really savvy around making your salad dressings. I'm so proud of you. All right, but I tasted mine. It tastes amazing. I'm gonna go ahead now and just kind of pull my corn out, and now I can hold it with my hand. Instantly cools it down, stops the cooking. All right, and then we're just going to cut it directly off of the cob. And it makes it so much easier. So give it a nice ice bath. And you'll be able to work with your corn immediately. Otherwise, you're going to have to let it get to room temperature because it's going to be way too hot. Cut it. All right. Rotating around. And we'll go on to the next cob. We're going to do the same thing. Make sure you get a good grip on it so it doesn't slip and you cut yourself. Okay. All right. Oh, I have a whole side that I missed there. Cool. All right, make sure I got everything. All right. I'm so excited. Now we're going to start to assemble our salad. So on my base, I'm going to go ahead and add my arugula. Oh, interesting. Where'd you find this music from?
I lovely Spotify.
All right, we're gonna add our peaches. And some cucumber. And this is such a quick assemble. Like it's just, the prep is pretty easy. Gonna add my avocado and all of my herbs and my onions, okay? And now I'm gonna add in my corn. Give it a nice little toss. Okay, now we also have our pumpkin seeds. And now what I like to do, and you guys probably know this by now, I'm gonna go ahead and add my salad dressing. And then I'm gonna add the feta cheese. Okay. Now, if you want to save some of this salad for later, you can absolutely add your ingredients, like your salad dressing later, because you don't want to wilt your lettuce or your arugula, I should say. We'll throw everything else in here, it's right on top. Okay, so it's nice and full. And now I'm going to add on my dressing. And of course, you always want to make extra because you never have enough dressing. You might want to have a little bit more. Just move that around a little bit. And I'll add my feta on top. And then also just toss a little bit. And there we have it, good folks. Make sure I get the rest of the corn. Waste not, want not. We have a absolutely stunning summer peach and corn salad. I feel like we did that in like 30 minutes. Super quick, super easy, highly nutritious, extremely beneficial in healing. Gorgeous. Look at that, it's so pretty. Avocados, the red onions, the peaches, the corn, the arugula, the cucumbers. I'm so proud. And there's pumpkin seeds in there, so you will have some extra crunch and a little zest from the dressing and the feta cheese.
Yeah, because it has the autofocus.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? What happened? All right, well, I'm gonna dig in. How many folks are done preparing your beautiful salad? So pretty. You could just kind of stack things like as you're pulling it out the bowl, right? Just make sure all of your ingredients make it to the top so you can see all of the peaches, the avocado. You can wait until after you're done assembling to add the pumpkin seeds if you like. This bowl's for you. All Okay. Super healthy, very refreshing, very vibrant, very heart healthy, very anti-diabetes. Because honey, let me tell you, we're all in the same boat, honey. I'm battling as good as I eat, and I eat very healthy, still borderline. So when we get to be of a certain age, you have to do a little bit more. You have to really be extremely mindful about your food. You have to exercise. You have to get your steps in every day. So I'm working on it. All right. And we're all done. I'm going to release this. I can take a picture because this is so pretty. Who's done? Does anybody want to testify about how yummy your salad is, or if you like it at all?
And shout out to all of our lovely Facebook and YouTube viewers. We had a few people who said they could not log in. If you ever have any technical difficulties, please contact our support at 510-255-0232, where we can better assist you on logging in. And do know that the links that you have used for previous classes are the same links that you use for the reoccurring block classes. So as long as you have one link, you still can use that same link to log in. Okay, great. I'm glad that you did that.
Mm. Mm. And arugula is very peppery, not spicy in a bad way, but it's definitely very unlike any other of the greens that you're gonna have. It has a very unique flavor that I really love. I'm gonna try the peaches. Anybody want to testify before we get out of here? Mm. So yum. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you. I don't want to talk with my mouth full. I am going to sit down and eat. I appreciate you all. We have a new block coming up, so we're working on getting the new block together for our next season of classes. Once again, I will be out next week. Um, so we will have a live class. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We will have a recorded class next week, okay? Once again, if you have any questions about like how to get into class or about the new block, or you're having questions registering, please feel free to reach out to our customer service. And I can put that information for you down in the chat. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate you, and we will see you. We'll see you next week, but it'll be me recorded. Okay. All right, you guys have a beautiful day. Bye. Thank you, Naya. Thanks, Linda.